第一次参加 XR EXPRESS Taiwan 所举办的 Business Trip， 他们安排的行程是非常丰富，2个参访行程之外，晚上还会有聚餐跟晚宴，所以对我来说有许多可以商业并利与交朋友的机会。
最让我印象深刻的是有一位从巴基斯坦来的，那他连续3天都来我们的摊位，他今天还告诉我们说，他回去一定会在我们的 online store 买我们的产品。
We had a lot of visitors here at our booth. We get at least 3 or 4 other companies that actually want to work with us.
觉得这次展览让我们更大开眼界，那也让我们能真的拓展我们新创的视野，然后往国际方向去走。
我觉得这次出展非常的成功，我们获得很多与国外厂商交流的机会。那在未来，我们也希望能够与这些厂商进行更进一步的合作，然后那对我们的业务的发展有非常大的帮助。
这个是全台湾第一届举办这个针对了虚拟实境 （Virtual Reality） 还有呢我们的扩增实境 （Augmented Reality） 的一个奖项。希望可以链接台湾跟国际的 XR 的生态圈。
我们期待这个大赏呢，可以刺激台湾更多的厂商新创可以投入这个 XR 领域当中。
不单指 VR、XR 的团队把解决方案带给企业，同时也让企业能够更了解 VR、XR 怎么样帮助他们解决问题。
XR 技术在教育的领域里面，既有这么多丰富的作品，跟非常令人惊艳的一些表现。其实 XR 是带领人类生活进入未来科技一个很好想象的平台。
想要利用 AR 的新科技，把台湾的医疗产业透过5G 网络传播到全世界。
对于一个导演来说 ，VR 叙事是一个全新的领域，它打破了过去我们电影古典的一些规则、一些规律。
我们一直希望可以提供更多更优质的 VR 教育内容给教育单位，那确实帮助到这些学生跟老师们。
那用一个不同的创新的一个方式哦，那呈现在大家的眼前哦。
5G 的世代来了，在 VR 的 OTT 上面，它需要有更多元化的这样子的内容的应用。
你能够到后面完成这样的产品，是一个就是我们觉得很有成就感。
那新的技术真的会产生新的价值啊，那这是我们对这个奖项给我们最大的肯定。
XR 这个领域，台湾的伙伴们都非常的有创意跟有潜力，可以拓展到全世界去。
可以更有信心，然后可以更坚持下去，撑过这一段的之后，我们的软实力跟我们的硬实力可以得到更多的很好的一个成果。
那我希望说，我们可以从台湾出发，然后迎向全球。
非常谢谢今天与会的所有得奖的伙伴们，若没有你们这么辛苦的在研发上面投入下去，然后不畏风险，不为人家觉得不看好 AR、VR， 还是继续的往前走。谢谢你们的勇气，谢谢你们的信心，也谢谢你们的执着，才能够累积成为我们今天这个颁奖的所有的这个开花结果。
Dear audience, good afternoon. I am your MC today, Belinda. Welcome to XR Golden Show, an international forum on XR challenges and opportunities in the Metaverse, held by the National Development Council. Metaverse has become the new buzzword in the industry, and we believe XR will be indispensable in shaping the Metaverse. However, in developing the future virtual parallel world, how do we define or interpret Metaverse? And which industries will be involved? Today, we have a riveting program. In the first half, 8 XR startups from Taiwan will share the latest XR applications in entertainment, audiovisual, gaming, industry, education, medicine, platform, and retail, and their thoughts on the Metaverse. At the same time, they will also share applications in these different fields. In the second half, we are honored to have 6 powerhouse industry representatives and the moderator. They will, from the angles of platform, blockchain, gaming, visualization devices, social groups, and investment, explore XR opportunities and challenges in the Metaverse. Together with the moderator, they will discuss the roles they play in Metaverse in terms of concept and technical feasibility, and explore opportunities and challenges in collaborating. We believe today's dialogues will help outline a clearer vision and future for the Metaverse. Now, let's hear from Minister of the National Development Council, Gong Mingxin. Please welcome Minister Gong.
去做楼秀等等一些情况啊。事实上，全世界的这些很多的城市都有我们的足迹哈。大致上有7个国家跟13个城市哈，包括北美、欧洲啦、东南亚、东北亚，那都是我们的楼秀的一些足迹哈。那随着亚系推动2.0哈，2.0事实上最主要的差异就是在AIoT 跟5G 时代的来临。5G 时代的来临的话，让这个 XR 它可以伸展的这个身手比过去更好那我们都知道，5G 相对于4G 来讲的话，它有大的频宽，还有高的这个速率，然后还有低的延迟。事实上，在4G 做不到的，很多5G XR 它就做到了比如真正的这个制造业或者是它的训练工业训练，甚至于这个会展或者是很多的娱乐跟展演等等一些情况，表演活动临场感那个比4G 时代是更好。那事实上，我们在亚居在2.0的时代呢，也投入了很多的示范性计划，已经开始了在很多台湾的各个地区都有开始这样 XR 的一些示范性的一些计划。那我们很期待这些示范性的计划都可以成功，然后扩展到全台湾，甚至于到全世界去那亚细 2.0 对于新创的这个支持，事实上还是持续的除了我们在资金上扩大协助我们的天使投资从20亿加码到50亿，甚至要加码到100亿那这个是我们会持续来做。那人才的培训，还有包括这个聚落的形成或者是场域的提供，那这些都会持续。那另外一个当然还有一些新创出厂的一些的设计事实上我们会来加强大家不要太羡慕现在 appear 去这个日本上市。那我们因为国内的这些新创可以顺利的出厂我们也跟金管会来做一些协商，所以金管会特别它的这个上市上柜的创新版跟战略新版事实上也开版那也提供很多的新创团队可以上市上柜来募集资金等等一些情况。那除了国内上市上柜之外，我们也更希望是所有的新创团队都可以一起走到海外去所以我们这个 Startup Island Taiwan 也持续的在推动那甚至于我们也开始举办所谓的 Next Big 那我们很期待 XR 可以入选我们下一次的 Next Big， 那我们一起走向全世界把这个 XR 的能量把它发展起来希望各位新创的朋友跟国发会一起努力，一起加油，谢谢各位。
Thank you, Minister Go. Now we will begin a wonderful lineup of program today. We will hear from 8 XR startups to introduce their companies and unravel insights into their potential in the Metaverse. First, we have an XR AI startup founded in the Silicon Valley, San Francisco, Amos. In 2019, their Taiwan subsidiaries was founded with their portable single lenses, absolute 3D volumetric capturing, and 3D cloud map and AI algorithm with global patents. They are providing real content for XR and capturing with high interactive holographic imaging. Let's welcome COO Wu Zhean.
Hi, everyone. I'm the co-founder, Wu Zhean, actually AMAS. As you can see from our logo, it contains our vision. It comes from the word amass, that means to collect everything, and also absolute experience, authentic environment, archive Earth. That means we want to include all information and then to present that in a 3D format. We were founded in the Silicon Valley in 2013, and with the help of Ministry of Technology, we set up our branch in Taiwan. Our core technology is a computer vision and deep learning, together with the 3D cameras and also our algorithm to provide our service. And our product is a 3D hologram. So exactly what is 3D hologram? Well, let me introduce to you. In the era of Metaverse, being interactive and having good content is very important. Having that moving content that's immersive and that would provide you a very authentic experience is something we're looking for. If you take a look at the film, there is actually the image is shown from all angles. You can actually pause it at any particular time point. And this is actually the 3D hologram. Normally, when you try to create an image like this, you've probably seen that in the movie, it will be like the studio on the bottom left. It takes about at least 100 to 200 cameras so that you'll be able to capture, and then you need post-production to render the image. Maybe 6 months later, you can create 1 minute of content. That's ridiculous. However, these years we see more vendors that have provided simplified solutions. Probably 20 to 60 cameras, like the one on top left, you will be able to create 3D content. So now it just takes about 3 months. However, it's still you need to go to a studio, you need to go to a motion capture lab, and also a lot of the arts team in order to render the image. However, in Metaverse, it's very different. And I think we want to provide a solution for everyone to create a 3D avatar or maybe to create 3D images in a very quick fashion. So in Metaverse, it's you can create very diverse and authentic content. So with just one camera, you can actually do that in a meeting room, like the image you see on the right. So with just the video, you can actually create that within a week, and the cost is much, much lower than the older solution. For these solutions, you still need to, people think, well, I will still need to bring a camera. But what if you can use the camera on your phone? So things that you see on Instagram will be, or Facebook will be very different. We call this a new generation of multimedia, that is 3D hologram. And the service process is actually very easy. You use a cell phone camera and then you upload it on the cloud. We will process with our algorithm, and with AR, VR, with TV, or other smart devices that's going to roll out in the future, you can watch these content. So a lot of the people are very interested in this content. If they have 3D capability, they can actually work with us to create a 3D hologram to put that in their games. And then this is a second group of companies, for example, like P&G. They believe that the 3D hologram can actually be used for marketing. But they don't know which platform they can present it. So we actually have customized service so that they can have 3D players on different platforms to showcase this hologram. And then there's another group of customers. We can use our, for example, these Infinite. You see that in movies like Ready Player One. And we can actually we can create a very authentic 3D hologram, say for example, someone running, for someone who's running on the treadmill. So this is my contact info. So if you're interested in doing, creating 3D images in a very cost-effective way, and please contact us. Thank you.
Thank you, Amos, for that. Next up is Korma New Media. Their core technologies are full movement capture, AR-TV real-time playback, VR and VR interactive design, and museum interactive display and design. Rigorous service quality and optimal user experience design complemented by solid R&D teams. They provide a full suite of digital and interactive integrated services. Please welcome Korma CEO Ray Lee. Hello, we are Korma New Media and I'm CEO Ray Lee. Today, we will see how Korma is creating new remote opportunities via XR. Korma has 15 years of history and recently we're helping the government in a 5G project. Here we are in the last few years helping Yahoo craft XR-related experiences. In the virtual world, there is infinite room for imagination with infinite possibilities. XR can be applied to marketing, online concerts. XR special effects can be used in pop science programs, virtual award ceremonies. Through XR and 5G, engage a live audience in online participation. You can also have a lot of live programs like variety shows, political commentaries, YouTubers, location shooting, music videos. You can host virtual online concerts, or even in a live show, combine showcasing products with CGI effects. Creating smart entertainment and captivating live experience. You can make a leopard cat or online webinars. Through infographics, combine real-time data with speakers to present information in a more vivid way. Korma's core business includes the following. 1. Creating smart entertainment via XR through virtual celebrities, as well as smart training via XR. As you know, in terms of quality, innovation, and creativity, we have been honored with local and international accolades. Last year alone, we helped Yahoo take home 20 prizes. XR with technology can create a more immersive environment, enabling smart training. We also combine real scooter riding with VR visuals to conduct training on road safety. Fusing XR with 5G, we are shaping next-gen entertainment. Virtual stage, virtual co-performance, virtual participation, and virtual feedback, enabling two-way interaction with the audience. Now, let's watch a short video showcasing virtual stage, virtual participation. The lead singer and guitarist are actually in different locations, but through virtual co-performance, they appear on the same stage. With 5G, the audience can use their mobile to interact with performers. They can wave glow sticks and even donate hearts and coins to give more intuitive feedback. Imagine with the stay-at-home order during COVID-19, performers and audience alike can now partake in interactive entertainment like this right from their homes. Also, we created a system of virtual celebrities so that they can host online concerts. They feature fascinating stage effects. Virtual celebrities can also be combined with real-life scenes. Hosting, singing, dancing, combining applications like facial motion capture, offering a wide range of applications. We can bring a flying dragon right into your home. Riding this trend of remote applications, many virtual products and virtual objects can be showcased in all kinds of spaces. At the concert of singer named we incorporated images from Malaysia to create special visual effects and virtual sets across 2 places. This was his very first online virtual concert using a virtual stage with CGI effects. It's been a great pleasure to introduce to you Korma. We look forward to helping you create a world of opportunities with XR. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Ray. And next, I would like to give you Found2 Studio. They're a Taipei-based AR/VR gaming company. Their R&D team provides the technology together with their platform and also the hardware. And they established Found2 Studios, and they do licensing and also the outsourcing type of work. I would like to welcome Ian Pan to present the company. Hi everyone, I am Ian, and it's my honor to give you an introduction of our company, Found2 Studio. And we are actually one of the best XR companies in Taiwan. We also have created multiple very best-selling games, and we could be the next Nintendo. Actually, in the past, we have produced for example, Final Fantasy, and also the Three Kingdoms, and Shrek, and Kung Fu Panda. We've been part of the production, and so that's why people call us the next Nintendo. And back in 2019, we set up the company in Taipei, which is actually a VR team from a big company, so with new investors. And we set up as a company and we create games for different platforms, which include the XR gaming and software. And in 2019, we have produced these games. For example, Bleeding Edge, which is like Jurassic Park, and then Outspace X, Fun Zoo, The Guardians. So Fun Zoo is actually selected one of the best VR games by the Taipei Game Expo. And we also have these game kiosk, which is kind of like a basketball machine, which actually combines a virtual platform, and which has been very popular. And in 2019, we went to Yilan for the Child's Play Festival. And then there is a VR expo for Ready Player One, and we set up 10 kiosks there, and we get about 1,000 visitors every day. This is actually one of the most visited booths at that festival. And also we developed AR mobile phone games, and we work with ASUS, and they are trying to promote their phones, and so that's why they chose us as a partner, because they can create this Pokemon-like games, and then I can show you the demo later. And also, it would it will attract more visitors, more tourists, and we have this business model together with the gaming mobile phone, and with the AR glasses and also our games. You can actually play that in different locations. They could be in hotels or restaurants, or some touristy spots. And that's been very well received, and that's actually a very good solution. So we hope that this will gain more traction next year. And next is the MR Smart Factory. This is a solution for the top 50 companies because, well, one of the top 50 companies, because they need to relocate their factory to a different country. So we actually create the 3D simulation of their 50 assembly lines. So just by wearing the goggle, they could see how to, they can train their people how to assemble and also maintain the production line. And this is actually, we got very good review from the client. And then finally, I would like to talk about this new big project, which is called the Great Airstrike of Taipei, the bombing of Taipei. And actually, this is actually comes from a very popular board game, and we would like to co-develop a game, survival game that also have a lot of local culture elements. So even though we're an independent company, but we are actually rated AAA, and so we would like to launch this game across different platforms. Our advantage is that we have a world-class IP development. We have the best of R&D team from Taiwan, also experience to work with world-class companies and integration of software and hardware. And I'll show you the clip here. This is the AR game. You can actually play that in different touristic spots. This is right in front of a Taipei 101. So you can play this game. And actually, a lot of people are watching me playing this game. So I hope that this will be a good way to promote the city. And then Fun Zoo. Yeah, we actually give it some updates together with the gesture movement together with the goggles, and I guess we're one of the few companies that's working on this technology. We're in close partnership with the goggle vendor, so just you can actually play the game with some very simple gesture. And this is the HoloLens goggle. But because this is a trade secret, I cannot show you the exact prototype. But this vehicle, you can actually see how it rotates in the 3D context. And finally, about the airstrike, the bombing of Taipei. And I hope that by this time next year, we will be able to launch this game. I think it's a milestone for the Taiwanese history. Okay, thank you very much. That's my presentation.
Thank you, Ian, for that. Next, we have Ganzin Technology. Ganzin Technology brings together top engineers and industry experience from around the world to develop new generation human-computer interfaces. Their energy-saving, compact, and integratable eye tracking solution allows ready integration with AR, VR, XR devices to realize eye control applications. Please welcome Professor and CEO Xiaoyi Chen. Hello. I am CEO Jen Xiaoyi of Ganzin Technology. I'm delighted to have a chance to tell you about our technology and our connection with and thoughts about Metaverse. Ganzin Technology is an eye tracking solution provider offering a complete solution. This is a critical solution for this industry, and I will explain why. Eye tracking is a technology for knowing where you're looking. It has a great prospect and a must to have component for AR, VR, and smart glasses. So this is all very natural. As you can see here in the past internet world, you use computer, PC to go online, and the screen there, and then you have your keyboard and mouse. And then now we use your smartphone and tablet and to go online, and then you use the screen is in your hand, so you use touch screen. The next generation, everyone is expecting an AR VR generation. You use the AR VR devices. The screen is right in front of you, near eye display. So between the person and the device, there's no screen. So the eye is going to play a critical role. Other than user interface, eye tracking can also assist in many things. For example, in VR, it helps reduce computing load in VR, or overlapping, and then release your hands-free interaction, overlapping of virtual and real. And we need to emphasize the headset. So in the virtual world, you just need to put on your virtual headset. In the virtual world, together with your friends, you can exercise, you can participate in a meeting. So it's a social network within the Metaverse. So imagine a future like this. So here is a Facebook demo. So when you go home, you put on a VR headset like this, and then you have an avatar in the virtual world. Together with your friends, you can interact with each other. So imagine this avatar, this virtual character has no moving eyeballs, then it just looks like a fake person. So in the future, in all VR headsets, you need eye tracking. In order to transmit your eyes into the avatar, so you have a soul in the virtual world and you have vivid representation. It's just not in the virtual world, because Metaverse is about a two-way world. So in this world, you can put on your AR glasses and you can see something like this. So here are some machines in the factory, and there's some digital information here that can be layered in front of your eye, so you can see the overlapping of real and virtual. So imagine interaction in this world. You can use your eyes to look at the machines and ask, what is the status of that machine? And this info will pop up. So through your eyes, you not only can interact with the virtual world, but also with the real world. So everything you see, virtual or real, you can interact with it. That is why eye tracking in the AR, VR, and the Metaverse is very important. So you probably know in the Metaverse, digital twin is a very important concept. So that means in this world, all humans and machines and all components, their information are captured through sensors and then projected into the digital world. And this world, the information through AR glasses can also be overlapped in the real world. So our eye tracking technology captures that human information, senses it, and then converts it into digital and pass it into the digital world. Finally, let's talk about our technology. Compare with this very traditional eye tracking technology, our technology is the most small and compact in the market. So using a module like this, you install it into your glasses and then you can do eye tracking. So it greatly reduces component number, power consumption, and design time. It is also the only one that applies to AR, VR, and smart glasses. So it's a very compact solution that can apply to all this. And this is because we have AI technology. This is our AI database. Using this database of our own, we train the AI models. So our key product this year is a collaboration with Qualcomm XR2. We have an eye tracking software package. With this package, any company can install a sensor together with our eye tracking software package and then be able to enable eye tracking. So that cuts down on the threshold of eye tracking. We have a lot of products with Qualcomm and with Epson and Zhuozhen. We also have this AR glasses, and this is our module. We also have a set of eye tracking glasses. It's purely for eye tracking. It's for smart factory, smart medicine, and smart retail. Finally, I would like to show you In the VR headset, we have eye tracking sensor. And then this what looks like a fake person, but all of a sudden it comes to life. You can see the eyes moving, and you can interact with them, and you can have eye contact. So this is thanks to eye tracking. Thank you for listening to that.
Thank you very much for Dr. Jim. And next is Grand Dam. They've been exploring the front of XR, and they provide marketing services that integrate the reality and also the virtual world. And they would like to provide a service with warmth. And the scope of their service include AR, VR, XR exhibitions, and O2O new retail, and also VTubers production. With intuitive interaction, they are able to integrate the two worlds. Let's welcome the marketing director. My name is Benson. I'm the marketing PR head of Grand Dam. I would like to introduce you the Metaverse products and also future roadmap. Just a quick introduction of our company. Our company is founded in 2019. They have many years of experience in gaming and media. They're from Taiwan and also Hong Kong, New Zealand, and Japan. And this is a very international team. In the past 4 years, we not only did we develop XR products, but we also had provided XR services to many multinational companies. And these are a list of the clients that we have worked with. Our strength is that we will be able to provide insightful perspective and understand the needs of the end customers. And our work has been very much enjoyed and appreciated by our client. And we hope that this is actually an interaction that can feel dearly to the users. And right now, we are actually in the pre-A round funding, and we've also been entered into multiple accelerators and awards. And last year, we were also got the angel investment, and right now, it's in a pre-A round of financing. And these are the 5 categories of our products. Number 1, MRXR application, for example, hologram. And number 2 is multisensory interactive applications. And then vIDO. We have this vIDO IP, and then our app. And then it's our interactive website. And just some of the examples that we can share with you. So this is a project that we did with China Airlines, the MR repair training system. So this is a music type game that we created, that we developed independently. And this is the holography baseball game that we worked together with Taiwan Mobile. And then it's the hologram that we developed together with a shopping mall and the city governments for O2O service. And this is our IP, the vIDO. So that is the brief intro of our company, and I will talk about Metaverse. Recently, we've also been working on a Metaverse project called Parallel Land. It actually comes from parallel and land. We want to create this virtual universe, which is the Metaverse. And in Parallel Land, there is infinite digital asset. You can create your own avatar, and you can actually do transactions and value exchanges. And I would like to show you the concept of Parallel Land.
好的，那
So that video describes the Pearland. The product actually combines the LBS mission and a gaming social community. There's infinite world for the players to choose from, and we also work with the celebrities and other IPs, so we can actually explore different worlds. And so the users are called landers, and they can actually share the interesting worlds in their own universe. And so they can interact with other players, and they can explore all these different worlds, and then people can also leave comments and maybe give them suggestions on which world to visit. In the future, we could also be doing concerts or other events in the Pearland, and also we can work together with shopping malls and to do O2O campaigns. And we believe that there is a huge value for marketing and also other commercial activities. And the market position, it's a new gamification and also social community map. And the TA is fans of IP or idol, Z generation, or casual gamer. The target market is actually the Z social community and the XR 5G Asia market. And it will be launched this year. And that is all from my presentation. If you're interested in knowing more about our products and service, please reach out to us. And we are Grandin. Thank you.
Thank you, Benson. Next up is Mind and Idea Fly. MyFly are a leading AR/VR mobile app developer and the only AR-based technology developer in Taiwan. With image identification and tracking as the core, they combine cloud machine learning, big data analytics, multimedia, and interaction to develop a dozen innovative AR, VR, MR mobile solutions and boast the largest AR, VR open platform in Taiwan, Makar. Please welcome CEO Roger Liu. Hello, everyone. I am Roger Liu, CEO of MyFly. I'm delighted to present to you our plans on development trends and applications in multimedia. Makar is a core product of ours. We want to enable all and any developers to quickly do their work in AR, VR, MR without needing programming. Our team was founded in 2014, focusing on AR, VR core technology development, computer visuals, and AI computing. We currently have 26 great employees engaged in AR, VR customized development and applications. In 2018, we launched Makar, a platform for service and creation. We hope to help facilitate AR, VR development for everyone and build a strong foundation in this field to accelerate its growth. So our mission is to allow anyone, any creator, to quickly use AR, VR to achieve different types of work and applications. In this creative process, in terms of user experience, we want to help creators more quickly use this medium and vessel for their development work. In fact, whether in the creative work, education, or business, everyone needs to undergo digital transformation. This is our product, Makar. Actually, you can quickly go online and register and quickly download our editor and even SDK accessories and services. Through our editor, you can upload any materials like images, videos, audio models, and then creating something is as easy as drag and pull. And that's it. On the left and right are corresponding functions and buttons, allowing logical events to be created. After you finish, one simple click allows you to post it on the web or cloud. Now you can see your work by going to your mobile or your glasses, your app, to open your AR, VR applications. So far, we have 40,000 developers in Taiwan, and total online editing time has come to 1,200,000 minutes. We are also well positioned in the education and commercial spaces, especially in terms of volume of creation in the AR/VR market with burgeoning growth from a handful of projects uploaded. Now, every month, over 2,000 AR/VR projects are being uploaded onto the cloud, and the volume has reached 450,000 times. It's evident that the AR/VR market continues to grow. Our technology basically uses our core tech in the center to enable modularized technologies and development. Our services can be interfaced through various media and then linked to various verticals like education, industry, commerce, or AR/VR glasses applications. In summary, after you finish using our editor, you can view your work on mobile, the web, glasses, and even go to other apps and link them to your viewing and application. Online, we offer developers over 100 tutorials, so you can quickly use it and learn use cases and apply them in your own work. As the entire market expands in education, many teachers use our services to develop AR/VR apps and use created content. That's not all. We are also working with NFT startup AkaSwap, enabling more NFT creators through Makar editing service to more quickly show their work in both the virtual and real world. All you need here is Makar and AkaSwap to showcase the creative and artistic work that you are marketing, as well as display and application in the real world. Actually, what we hope to achieve, whether in education, commerce, or development, is this. We want to help more creators, teachers, or developers to devise more applications and use cases. We also hope, whether in a commercial or experiential sense, more people can be exposed to NFT, Metaverse, or AR/VR, and continue to develop and use them. This is our planned timeline for growth. We intend to become, by 2023, the biggest editing service provider in Asia, and we're working hard toward that. I'm Roger from MeFly. It's been a pleasure to tell you about this. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Liu. And next is a company from Kaohsiung, Pumpkin Studio. They provide AR/VR games. They've been working together with Sega, SmartGate, and HTC, and are selected by DigiCapital to be the leader in VR games in 2019. And they also provide customized solutions that brings the virtual and real world together.
Hi guys, I'm Peter. We are an indie team that has been developed 3 VR titles for arcade since 2016. After those 3 titles, we want to create a fun and replayable VR title that everyone can easily pick up and want to invest time to master it. Then here it is, Quantar, a VR title that we have been working on for 3 years.
Hi, I'm Barry. We're all fans of PvP metagames. Quantar is a fast-paced VR PvP metagame combining first and third person. You can enjoy the intensity of combat and dig into the rune system to develop your personal playstyle. And this is something never seen in the VR game space. So we have spent so much time designing the gameplay mechanics and this multiverse setting.
In Quantar, you can build your own playstyle, mastering the heroes and diving into a room system. All the hero has their skill set and special ability. My personal favorite hero is Chaos, who can grab everything from the ground. Scalability and customization are some of many features of Quantar. There are many diverse areas for players to explore and customize into their own. Combat is not the only thing that will get you hooked.
Social is another feature in Quantar. VR enables us to interact with others in a new way, and we are making this more epic, like this. Quantar's social bar. We are creating more heroes and secret features for the space station and bar. Stay tuned, come join our community, add the game to your wish list, or support us on Patreon. See you soon in Quantar!
Thank you, Mr. Liao. Now, let's hear from our last XR team today, Beyond Reality. Beyond Reality is developing various modes of education, aiming to bring progress and change for humans through innovation and technology. They believe education and training with technology is meaningful and worthwhile. Beyond has two enterprises in Beyond Education and Beyond Healthcare. Please welcome Mr. Daniel Wang, CEO of Beyond Reality. Hello, everyone. We are Beyond Reality. I am Daniel Wang, the CEO. Our mission is leveraging XR to bring brand new evolutions to human learning and living. Since our founding, we have been actively involved in the knowledge, education, vocational training, and medical fields, offering numerous pain point solutions and interactive programs. Working with HTC at the Pilot School Technology Education Integration Ren'ai Junior High in Taipei City, we built a VR classroom as a demonstrative case for the whole country. Taipei City Mayor Ko Wen-je also led a delegation of teams to Israel for an international visit and exchange. This is a wonderful case study for showcasing our educational achievement to the international community. Together with several well-known schools like Taipei Med University, Taipei University of Nursing and Health Sciences, and Donghua University, we worked on solutions to overcome shortage in hospital beds using VR simulation. We also partnered with National Taiwan University of Science and Technology to craft simulative training for industrial-scale chemical boilers, minimizing risks for students as they learn how to operate them. We have received recognition from several awards and accelerators. This year, we are excited to share with you, we have combined drug abuse prevention, a rather dry and boring subject, with anime and VR technology. This was recognized by Kaohsiung City government with a sizable grant. Staying sensitive to gender equity, we prepared covers with different styles. Now, let's take a look at this interactive content.
是一次两次而已，不会怎样的啦。怕什么？你大哥我在这里。
As you saw in this video, animated figures are incorporated, so teens can learn together with these attractive characters how to refuse drug. We have successfully introduced this kind of interactive apps to several senior high schools and got very positive reception. There are many virtual sets letting teens learn how to refuse drugs in these high-risk scenarios. There are also components to learn about different types of drugs so they don't accidentally take them under peer coercion. Challenges to identify drugs and train detection dogs and games make learning super fun. During this interaction, they can practice the best way to refuse illicit offers. All these interesting apps we built is all about creating virtual environments and interactive virtual characters. This matches perfectly with the concept and directions of Metaverse. Aside from continuing this effort, as 5G and XR become more and more popular, we hope to shape a content-centered, multi-device enabled ecosystem to enjoy content together. We will continue to create more diverse and interesting virtual environments and interactive virtual characters. We'd love to work with any companies interested in Metaverse. And we hope to shape the ecosystem together with you to enrich the content in the virtual world and power the evolution of human life. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Chairman, CEO. And we'd like to thank these 8 startups that are working together with EXPRESS Taiwan, and thank them for their presentation. If you want to learn more about these companies, you can actually visit the Facebook page of XR Express Taiwan, or you can also visit the virtual show. And next, we're going to move into the panel discussion and also the fireside chat. We are very glad to be joined by the large names, including the VR Live, Lutex, NVIDIA, KBGP, and also the XR Associates. We have 6 heavyweight speakers that are going to share with us the major elements of Metaverse. And they will talk to us about the various applications and also their company's perspective. First, we'd like to welcome the XR Business Development Manager, Ms. Jill Wang from NVIDIA. And the topic is Omniverse, a groundbreaking virtual collaboration platform to unlock the vision of the Metaverse. Using NVIDIA's latest technology with 5G and AI for business matching and to create highly effective content. We're also very interested in finding out what NVIDIA is doing with XR. Let's welcome Jill. Thank you. Can you all hear me? Yes, we can hear you. I am the XR and VR Business Development Manager. I'm Jill. Jill, can you please switch on your camera, if that's possible? I think I have to stop sharing screen for a moment. Yeah, I hope you can see me. Yes, we can see you now. Thank you. Yeah, I would share my screen again. You can see this screen fine, right? Yes, we can. So yeah, It's truly an honor and privilege to be invited by the National Development Council and XR EXPRESS Taiwan to give this talk at the XR Golden Show, to share with my very distinguished colleagues about the platform that we're creating, which is called Omniverse. And today I will talk about the structure of the Omniverse and also the example of application. I will also show you how these can be done. So first of all, I will give you a brief intro of the industry in general and the challenges that we are facing. And in order to tackle these issues and to meet the expectation of the users, as we understand, the 3D workflow is actually very important for many industries, for construction, for media, entertainment, product design, and also autonomous cars, robotics, and that rely heavily on the 3D workflow and execution. And for the medium to large-sized design projects would incorporate cross-department and also multidisciplinary talents. And a lot of people are working from home these days. So and a lot of them are actually not in the same geographic location. So it's actually making our work even more difficult. So with the available software, the 2D, 3D software, there's actually multiple different tools. It's actually some of the platforms are not interoperable. So that's actually making our job more difficult. That could also slow down our process. So we understand that for the gaming industry, for the entertainment industry, and we know the users have very high expectation of the quality. So everything has to be done at a much finer degree. So actually the design work is very heavy. At NVIDIA, in order to facilitate cross-location collaboration and also to minimize the gap of communication, and we developed the Omniverse platform. This is actually the first platform globally that allow the 3D team to work together. So on this, in this shared platform, they can actually work together real time. From the left of the screen, you can see that the members of the team, and they may be working on different platforms. There could be all these different platforms, and they can actually they can be interoperable, where they can actually log on to Omniverse. And on Omniverse, we also have a very powerful AI tools and to run simulation. For example, CUDA, DOSS, and AI denoting Ariba conversational, etc. And with the Cloud XR, we can actually connect them together to the different devices. I'm sure many of you have heard of Cloud XR. If not, I'll just explain briefly. And they connect via 5G or Wi-Fi, so that we can actually stream the contents to the Android and or iOS device, and they could be distributed or on-premise or on the cloud, and then you can be streamed to all these different devices, tablets, laptop phones, or all these different AR/VR devices. And so we've actually been working together with many service and also device providers. And we have also been optimizing 5G technology. So you can see from 1.0, that is the release, and we have now moved on to the 3.0. We'd like to thank our partners for their feedback. For version 3.0, we actually have bi-directional audio, so you're definitely welcome to reach out to us for more detail. And at NVIDIA, actually, even as early as 2017, we started to work on XR, well, actually 2015. So we have a VR-ready GPU and an SDK. And in 2017, we launched a holodeck, which has actually been greatly popular. And some people even asking me, well, do you still have a holodeck? Well, because actually, Omniverse is an extension of a holodeck, and it's the inspiration is Metaverse. And then in 2018, we rolled out the RTX technology. And the next year, our CEO announced this revolutionary platform that's Omniverse. And end of last year, we provide open data so people can actually download it and try it, give it a try. Right now, we have more than 50,000 users, and also more than 500 enterprises have shown their interest for Omniverse, and so they begin to do testing and or implementing this in their project. You might be curious why we are investing so much resources on Omniverse. So we were inspired by Metaverse, but there's also an anecdote that we can share with you. We are a multinational company, and we have TDC and also these company events. And so a lot of times we have to create the demos, the presentations, and we have a lot of these promotion materials for our products. And we need to do simulation, and these has to be very high fidelity simulation. And so we saw that Omniverse is actually making it very easy to create these simulations or presentations. So that's why we decided to work on this application. So that is a background. And now I would like to talk about the structure of Omniverse. So basically, it encompasses 5 elements. So we want to maximize the quantity and quality of our design. So let me begin with the nucleus. This is actually a server that can actually allow the users to share their data, to do uploads and downloads. And it could be on-premise or it could be on the cloud. And next is Connect. This is actually a plugin for the applications, so that for those who are using different platforms can actually be connected. And we also have a very powerful kit so that you can actually create new applications in Omniverse, so the users can actually develop customized interface or application based on their own needs. And then the simulation actually comes with the Business X or Blow Blast. These are our core technology that would actually be able to be compatible with the real-life physics. And then RTX Renderer. This is a rendering technology that can support multiple GPU, which uses RTX Foundation, and which will be able to perform real-time light tracing and also path tracing. And it's actually, you don't need to do coding. You could just, it's one click away, you can initiate light tracing. As to how do we perform cross-software communication? So we use USD as the format. So this is the foundation. So USD is basically the HTML for the 3D world. So basically, this is the common language among 3D softwares. With this software, you'll be able to communicate with different 3D software. And it's not just a file format, but it also includes a scenario and description. So that's why we use USD as the backbone. And this is actually developed by Pixar. And now it's actually used very extensively in many different scenarios. And we have a very clear specification for the hardware. So, so for the selection of hardware, it's actually based on the complexity of your 3D file. But basically, as long as you have RTX card, you can kick off the matrix, and then there are some of the apps that you can actually play with. And for the interest of time, I will talk about 3 of them. So the first one is Omniverse Create. Omniverse Create is actually can help to accelerate a 3D scenario and also allows collaboration for the simulated rendering. And then Omniverse View is actually for maybe a lower tier. So, for example, in the interior design or architecture, I'm sorry, it's actually very high fidelity, and and it can actually simulate the lights, etc. And then Isaac Sim, I guess you have heard of before. This is actually a software development kit which can actually incorporate AI in robotics. I'm talking about a wide range of robotics. It could be the robotic arms, autonomous cars, patrol cars, smart boating, that all part of robotics. For the general users, I think we can start running tests on Omniverse Create. And if you're not familiar with the Omniverse yet, actually I have a demo film for my next slide that would help you understand how it works. So on the left, you could see the 3 screen. There is when the animator is working on a clip, and then the art people are working on these drawings, and then the 3 modeling specialists creating the model. So actually, when they would work together, and then they pass their finished work to the next people of the next step to work on. So oftentimes there's a lot of passing back and forth. They would have to pass the file back and forth between the arts team and also the 3D team. But now with Omniverse, you can actually upload it onto Omniverse, and it will make their job much easier. And if your manager of your client would like to fine-tune your product, they can actually provide you real-time feedback in Omniverse as well. So this is a very real-time interaction that can actually accelerate the process. And on the Omniverse platform, there's actually 2 scenarios. One is for individual, another is for enterprises. Actually, for individuals, it's actually for those who are maybe freelancers or a one-man company who can use the software, but they can actually use the beta version, which is free of charge. As for the enterprises, it's actually for the small to medium-sized companies, or even very large-sized companies, MNCs. They can actually subscribe to the service. And who would be the TA? And so in this next page, we see the media entertainment, manufacturing, architecture, game development. They all represent large opportunities. And we are actually talking to a lot of people in these fields. And I think other than these different industries, I think we're also more curious in the application. I have a few cases to show you. BMW, they have built a digital factory with Omniverse. And so the entire workflow has actually been, the efficiency has been raised for 30%. And then the at agency WPP and also ILN. We are working with them as well. As to the use cases, I can also show you in this next clip.
Where are you from, Misty?
I'm from a place called Omniverse.
I think for the interest of time, I wasn't able to give you examples of all applications, but actually before the end of my presentation, I would also like to show you this short clip of Omniverse, which includes the features of Omniverse, the light tracing effect, and also real-life physics. And I think these are all keys to have very effective simulation. And so I think that shows the potentials and possibilities of Metaverse. Metaverse is actually parallel with the real world, and it's actually also a shared environment, so it allows multiple individuals to collaborate. So you can actually run the simulation in Metaverse, and then you can bring it back to the real world. And then with our XR technology, you can actually navigate freely between the two worlds. And we've actually invested a lot of resource in this technology and platform, and would also like to thank our partners for their support. So Omniverse is actually the first simulated platform for Metaverse. And we've also have a few big updates. We are working together with Blender and Adobe, and we'll create a technology that will be enjoyed by millions of users. And we're also working together with Apple and Pixar to unlock new features. So with the capability of Omniverse, we hope that we can support the development of our partners, and also to allow these ecosystems to further develop. I would like to once again thank the organizer XR EXPRESS Taiwan for the invitation. So please download and give it a try to create your own metaverse. Thank you.
Thank you, Gil, for that. Looks like Omniverse can effectively meet developer needs and empower more immersive applications. Speaking of immersive experience, we must not forget HTC Vive. Now, let's hear from a heavyweight at HTC Vive, Roy Chang, head of Viveport, China. He manages platform operation, marketing, and content acquisition in China. Other than being head of Viveport, he is also responsible for business development in APAC, leading his team to explore strategic cooperation in novel applications and business opportunities. His topic is the key element to build the metaverse, immersive experience. Roy. Thank you all. Please give me a second to share my screen. Can you see my screen? Yes, we do. Okay, give me a second. Can you see my screen? Yes, we do. It's okay now. Okay. Sorry for that. Hello, everyone. I'm Roy. I am in the Content and Platform Department. I'm head of Viveport China and APAC Business Development. Thank you to the organizers for inviting me to talk about the key element to build the metaverse immersive experience. Let us do a quick recap of what we call Ready Player One video. And then using that video, we will expand into the follow-up discussions. Can you hear the sound? Okay. I think it's probably a problem with sharing, but that's fine. I think you are probably quite familiar with this video. So, Ready Player One, it was in the market in 2018, and then it shows what the future holds for immersive VR experience. So a lot of people use it to explain what the metaverse is. Metaverse is basically a digital virtual world that can be extended limitlessly. So everyone, once they log into this online virtual environment, you can have seamlessly move around different scenes and do whatever you like to do. Strictly speaking, Metaverse is not a brand new concept. Actually, Ready Player One had its book, its original book, published a few years before the movie. And then besides making Metaverse super hot after the idea was launched, and it continues to push the Metaverse forward. First of all, it's about VR, AR, and then there are a lot of local or global platforms allowing users to more easily create content. And then we see the rise of online social multiplayer and cross platforms. And then we have what's called a decentralized infrastructure like blockchain or crypto. And then we have what's called the hardware virtualization, 5G, and AI. And of course, in the last 2 years, COVID has indeed changed our life and how we work. People are growing increasingly open to online work and online lifestyle, and also to communicate virtually online. As I mentioned, VR, AR, 5G, and AI, and blockchain, all these correspond to what we started to talk about Vive Reality in 2018. HTC has been aiming at developing Metaverse, and we are very happy that out of the Metaverse concept, we can understand what we used to talk about as the Vive Reality. From the product aspect, in terms of developing Metaverse, AR, VR, Metaverse, we have always been creating a complete solution, including hardware, software, content, platform, and service. So other than general consumers, there are also business users. In the interest of time, I'm going to briefly introduce to you just about the hardware and the content platforms. First, this is what we launched in B2B Q2 headset. It's a V-Focus 3. And at the same time, we also have the Vive Business software solutions, offering a complete solution for business users. Of course, during the Q2, we also launched the Vive Pro 2. This is a 5K display, 120 SOP, but it can reach 120 Hz PCBR and use different technology using outside-in tracking technology, providing users with excellent experience. This year, we have also launched the Vive Facial Tracker. It can capture 38 expressions. So in the Metaverse, you can better present yourself and in a more comprehensive way. This was also launched this year. It's upgraded full body tracking. We call it Tracker 3.0. It's smaller, more compact, and has a longer battery life. So using this kind of tracker, real objects can have seamless connection with virtual objects. So every move in the real world can be related to the virtual world. Other than hardware, now let's talk about the content platform of Viport. Viport is actually an ecosystem with hardware characteristics. So all kinds of hardwares can be connected to use different content. So simply speaking, Viport allows users in real life to move into the virtual world. So it's like a portal. Viport is compatible with most VR equipment, and you can buy one time or subscribe. There are over 500 VR titles supporting 6.6 and 6.3 and 3.3 equipment. There are over 2,000 PC VR titles, and users can stream their content through the hardware. So using streaming, you just pay a small fee, and then you can access over 2,000 titles. Other than games and tools, Viport also has a lot of content related to Metaverse, like DALI, MOR, VRChain, Virtual Cap, Engage, etc. All these provide social and virtual events, so users can participate or host various online virtual events. And for the users, they can create their own metaverse using this. And using Viport, you can move freely between these metaverses. Speaking of Metaverse, it's not just for gamers. So how do you allow the everyday user to better understand and participate in the metaverse? That's an important topic. So for this, Viport has worked with a lot of international players at exhibitions, and online combined with offline TCG, users can go into specific topics and understand about metaverse. We have had 11 partnerships with and in international festivals and trade shows. And other than exhibitions, in the first half, we have also joined live events and have a lot of arts and cultural events. Jean-Michel, this is a New Year concert in the virtual Notre Dame. He was able to attract a lot of audience. This was a collaboration with the Venice Film Festival, the online portion. As you can see here, there are some sets from the Venice Film Festival, and participants can choose their favorite avatars and present themselves in the way they prefer or in different roles. And the content, whether it's interaction with these sets or people with people, it's really fun. And also these winning titles are available on Viport, so users can download and experience these titles from Viport. So right now, there is a very interesting event going on. Viport sponsors a virtual market 6, which is on right now in Viport. So if you want to get a feel of Metaverse, especially in the VR chain, it's a very fun application. There are lots of programs if you want to go karaoke or interact with foreign friends, and different activities like escape rooms. All these are available here. I recommend that you go in and then get a feel of what Metaverse is. Although even if you don't have VR equipment, you can just use a PC, your personal computer, to download the content. I talked about VR and content, hardware and content platform. Now, lastly, I'd like to talk about 5G and blockchain in the last 2 slides. In April this year, if you paid attention to news, we actually had our own independently developed 5G page. And it has edge computing in the server, and it's also a management platform. We also have our own cloud rendering technology. And then in this venue, we are able to commercially transfer the content, offline VR content. We believe using this kind of a cloud rendering and different technology, we can optimize cloud equipment, making it smaller and more compact, unlimited by the environment. Anytime people can enter the metaverse. And finally, let's talk about blockchain. As you know, HTC built the first blockchain mobile, HTC Solus, but Exodus, and our decentralized meta universe application, decentralized land, and Infinity, all these can be accessed through HTC Exodus. We also work together with Hyper Network, Binance, and different stock trade companies so you can make trades. We believe using blockchain, we can rebuild the entire internet and to ensure people can have their own identity, personal data, and access, and safely move around in the metaverse without worrying about their privacy. Finally, let's look at a video to help you understand what's Vive reality and what is metaverse. Sorry if there's no sound. I think we don't have time to overcome that for now, but just take a look at the image. Okay, sorry about the not having time to troubleshoot the time, but with that, I conclude my presentation. Thank you all.
Thank you, Roy, for that presentation. It's the immersive experience in the new world. And next, we would like to talk about the transaction in Metaverse. And I would like to welcome the founder and CEO of Justine Liu from Lutex. And she has experience in gaming, AR, and VR, and they have an independent team, publisher, and also distribution. In 2018, she founded Lutex, and she started working on NFT and hoping to democratize the world with crypto currency and blockchain. And today, she will talk to us about key to Metaverse, blockchain, and NFT. Hi, everyone. I'm Justine. I'd like to, first of all, let me share my screen. Yeah, can you all see this? I'd like to thank the organizer for the invitation. This is actually my first time giving a talk on Metaverse. 3 years ago, I founded my company. I would like to just briefly introduce myself. I've actually been in the gaming industry for a long time, and we started to develop games at very early stage when there's when iPhones start to roll out, and then I went to I've also been with PC games, mobile games, and for the VR, we did arcade type of games, and also the mobile games. And it was during that time I met a lot of people in the VR industry. For example, the people from NVIDIA and HTC, and also Jason from VR Live. We've actually, I met them a long time ago. And end of 2017, I started to look into blockchain, and I founded the NFT auction, which is Lutex. So just now, the two speakers, they have already talked about Metaverse, but I guess it's still not easy to get a really good grasp of Metaverse. So let me tell you a little bit about it. People, I think, start to become a buzzword these 2 years because of COVID-19. A lot of people, a lot of companies are going through digital transformation, especially the entertainment gaming industry. End of last year, around the holiday season, Lil Nas from the US, the singer, sang, well, actually, he has this song, and also he has a concert in Metaverse, because last year I also saw that Mayday and Sun Yanzi, these Chinese singers, they also doing concerts in the virtual reality. I think it's actually very interesting if you can actually do through your concerts in the Metaverse. So that would actually help you to create more innovation. And here you see this is Minecraft. Actually, during COVID, well, last year, the Japanese schools, they were not able to hold a graduation ceremony. So a group of Japanese students, they had this online graduation ceremony. So they asked everyone to join in the Minecraft auditorium in the virtual world, and they even sang the school anthem. So this is actually a transformation that's expedited by the pandemic. So exactly what is Metaverse? Some people call it VR. Some people think it's a UGC platform, user-generated content. Could be, say, Roblox or Facebook. Some people, yeah. And also, I think there's an explanation that's, I think, quite true, which is a virtual space where your identity and assets can continue to exist. I think there are not the best answers or best description to Metaverse. So actually, I refer to Wikipedia for this paragraph. The reason I choose to quote Wikipedia because I think this is actually a common understanding of a lot of users. So here is a paragraph, I quote. It says, "A metaverse is a collective virtual shared space." I would like to, underline this virtual shared space that includes the sum of all virtual worlds and networks, including but not limited to derivatives or copies of the real world. So often we hear AR, VR, and MR. And so Metaverse is often used to describe the future version of the web, and it's actually made up of many 3D virtual spaces linked together in a shared way. Well, still, I don't think it's easy to understand the text, so let me try to explain it. So exactly what is Metaverse? So I've seen a version, I think that's actually quite accurate. Matthew Ball, this VC, and he mentioned that these are the 8 core elements. So our speaker from NVIDIA and HTC talked about the hardware, the computing. So we heard about GPUs and VR. So they could perform physical computing, rendering, networking, and the 5G computing and decentralized data exchange. And on the virtual platform, we heard from Roy. He said that it could be a 3D immersive environment. And then we also have the content, service assets, and there are also the standards for transactions. So I think NFT, blockchain, and crypto would actually play a very critical role. Just to sum it up, I think there are 4 core elements. It needs to be sustainable, immersive, interoperable, and also it needs to have a system of economy. Still, it's quite obscure, not easy to understand. But I think crypto, NFT, and blockchain meets these elements of being sustainable, immersive, and interoperable. So yeah, I think that these are the critical factors that would allow Metaverse to become a very good virtual space. Actually, NFT stands for non-fungible token. It's actually been reported by many media saying that certain auction items actually sold via NFT. So people heard of this term, but I don't think we truly understand what it is. So Bitcoin, Ethereum, these are all fungible tokens. That means they can actually be dissected and they can be used for transaction. For example, one Ethereum, because if you own one Ethereum, I also own one Ethereum, they can actually be exchangeable. And for those that cannot be if the items that are unique, that cannot be dissected, for example, these virtual items in the games, and they are not fungible. So for example, the sword, you cannot have you cannot have a 0.5 unit of a sword, or say a ticket with a front row and a back row. It's not equivalent, and our property is not equivalent. So they can actually be described or expressed in NFT. So blockchain empowers Metaverse because the asset and also payment. So I think when it comes to payment system, there's a distributed ledger, and these information cannot be tempered because all the records are open and transparent, and so it has credibility. And blockchain 2.0 launched a smart contract. Everything can be authenticated. You don't need to just give it blind trust. So with NFT, we need to, there also are the goods that go with it. And so we can have asset based on this NFT and also have certificates based on that. Digital identity can also be shown in NFT. So the global trend, we talked about Metaverse a lot, or virtual world. I think we just use the term Metaverse instead of virtual world. So Roy from HTC talked about the sandbox and also Decentraland. These are very popular Metaverse. And there is a DJ blog who actually did a concert in Metaverse. So you have to go to the NFT auction to buy a ticket, and then you can go to Decentraland for the concert. I mentioned that the auction place, this is actually a different company from Decentraland. However, they can do transaction, and then the asset is actually interoperable. So the sandbox, and they also trade virtual asset. I bought this 6x6 property in November last year. I think based on the conversion rate, we spent about 100,000 NT dollars for the 6x6 unit. But by this year, already equals to close to 2 million NT. And I have a friend who bought also a piece of property and also sold it. And so my friend actually made quite a fortune. So, nowadays people are not only investing in the real property, but also the virtual property. So what's the future for Metaverse? A day in Metaverse, I will wear the HTC VR headset and also the body device. I can actually log into the sandbox with my wallet, and I can change my furniture. It will be like the Animal Crossing. You could do the same, and you could play that game. You can actually furnish your home. And so I can use the avatar, which is something I bought with auction. The auction is for CryptoPunks. I don't know if you've seen CryptoPunks. This is actually quite expensive. One avatar would cost you maybe 7 million NT. So this is how people show off their asset. Now with their fabulous cars, they could actually show off their asset with the icons, with the avatars they have. And also we could do mining. Say for example, a token is this is actually a decentralized financial system, and this looks like mining, but what am I doing is I'm engaging in a certain type of financial activity. I can go to the exchange and to sell it and buy B token, and we can say, let's go buy tickets for the virtual Michael Jackson's concert. Even though Michael Jackson has passed, however, there are technology that can actually bring them back to life in this virtual world. So the concerts, and people would like to buy a ticket, and they want to keep those tickets as a collection. And I was lucky enough to get 2 tickets. So I sold one at the Lutex auction. And because I have this Michael Jackson NFT ticket, and our dealer they actually they have this piece of work that is a hologram Michael Jackson, and so they want to show it to those to their VIPs who want to go to the concert. So I also got bumped to bump up to VIP. So there is a lot of interesting things we could do in Metaverse. So first of all, it's very immersive. And then my asset can actually be used, and it's actually interoperable in different platforms. So A token and B token, there's liquidity, and also there are interoperable. And the financial activities, they are also gamified, and that is our imagination for Metaverse. And with just one wallet, you can actually go anywhere, everywhere. That is actually my digital identity. And 3 years ago, when I founded the company, I wrote an article about how you can learn about blockchain through the movie Ready Player One. I quote the movie Welcome to the Rebellion, because when I was in my centralized mindset, it was very difficult to understand blockchain. However, once you sidetrack from the centralized world, when you come to the decentralized world, it's hard to go back. It's actually a very important quote for you to understand blockchain. So yeah, welcome to this virtual world. Welcome to Lutex, and learn about blockchain, learn about digital asset. You can see that behind me, we have this virtual space, and because you can actually imagine when you have that digital asset, you can actually decorate your virtual space, and you can actually buy this artwork from the auction. And this artist is called ATI Atai, and whose work has actually been auctioned at Sotheby's, Hong Kong. And he's an artist from Taiwan. So please support these Taiwanese artists.
Thank you, Justine. Now we have VR product founder and CEO of VAR Live, Jason Wang. He is the serial entrepreneur of 5 companies, first getting into gaming in 1993 during the DOS age, moving through PC games, large online games, and mobile games. In 2014, he created a new VR application and the very first large-scale VR arcade in Taiwan. Since then, he has delved into creative work for large theme parks, extending VR applications into VR professional training simulations and a VR training simulation system where multiple players move around a super large space. Those of us getting ready to enter the Metaverse are really looking forward to life in the visionary world. Now, let's hear from Jason on the future gaming world in the Metaverse. Welcome, Jason. Hello, everyone. We heard you heard about our core technologies, and we also heard about hardware. Justine talked about NFT applications. Actually, today I'm going to talk more about the angle of a product developer and how we look at these future trends and what kind of applications we have achieved. Now let me share my file. Okay, do you see my screen and can you hear me now? Yes, we do. Okay, great. Our brand is VR Life. And our brand started in 2014, starting from entertainment. Let me introduce myself. I've been in gaming for 26 years, starting from DOS age into PC game, online game, to mobile game, and then to VR. So this is how I have evolved as a game developer. We are based in Kaohsiung. We're one of the few developing company in Kaohsiung. This is our office. We built it on our own. and we have 72 developers of hardware and software, and we develop all of them independently. We have 30 large games and content, 18 stores across the world. They are VR stores, authorized stores, and we also work together with large theme parks. And here, actually, it's one of our core business, and we have sold 2 million tickets, which is a very impressive volume. And this is how our games are played. One of our games in the same space, 5 people can battle each other and interact. This is our ghost house, our haunted house. My favorite, 8 people using it together, everyone screaming. And this is some of our sold out games, including in Pakistan, Singapore, Malaysia, Philippines, Japan. Our products are used in all these places. This is our latest Liu Fu Chun theme park, and we have work there. And we also have a lot of digital entertainment applications like large projection. And this is in our flagship in Malaysia. Thousands of square meters, 17 rooms, 7 rooms, 14 games, and we have a full-size VR projection. And thanks to this, we received the best theme park award in Malaysia. And we work together with a lot of theme parks around the world. In Malaysia, we work with cinemas. 36 cinemas in Malaysia have VR Live branded products. Our biggest project this year is we're working with one of the largest theme parks in Canada. We have 360-degree theme park there, and after that opens up, we are going to be the largest VR theme park brand, and that's made in Taiwan, so it's quite a very big source of pride. So those were more entertainment-related applications, but as the MC introduced, we also expand our VR applications into professional apps. And we are thinking about how we can go further. So we're moving into VR equipment. This is called the VR box. So here is our latest product, whether it's from hardware to software to global connection and global event hosting. Expanding global business, social groups, everything is done independently by ourselves. Why do we choose this very tedious path? This is because almost no one else is working on this. So we decided to build everything from scratch on our own. So on the left is VR Box Max, and on the right is our independently developed VR gaming hardware. And we also have our dedicated app to manage our global social groups, and we have 10 games for global online connection. We use scientific and medical theories into our products, and so we have 2 million users without any dizziness using our product. We also host large e-sport competitions, and this is some of our past events. Locally in Taiwan, we also have footprint in Taroko sports across 20-some locations in Taiwan, and also traditional channels also boast our work. And our gaming equipment also have footprint in High Life CVS. So in a few years, out of the 1,400 High Life convenience stores, you will see our equipment. And we expect to have 2,800 VR boxes across Taiwan. And this is how we build our ecosystem and our target. Now VR Box has tapped into 10 international markets, and this is our current footprint. Right now, we have 436 VAR boxes deployed across the world in 75 stores and 60,000 members. We have accumulated 10 million paid games. However, like everyone else, we were impacted by COVID-19. However, we still had excellent performance. Right now, we have roughly 1,200 orders for VAR box, and also offline we also work with Oculus, Steam VR, and PlayStation, moving our products from offline to online. That's not all. We not only focus on developing our own products, we also plan to move our own editors called many art editors. And we are going to try and open it up to third-party developers so that using our editor, they can quickly complete online video games. So our end goal is to have an open platform. And then now connected with the Metaverse, what is our vision? This is what we're about to launch online, just a small app to test the market to see how we can have connection. Because everyone says it's the beginning of Metaverse, but in the future, can it be an effective commercial model? I think that's a key point for us. So what we're going to put online is how players can use our dedicated app to edit or create their own game or content. For example, we have our own guns and our own gloves for games, and consumers can create based on these. They can design these, and then as Justine said, using the NFT transaction platform, we can transact these unique products. So this is what we are testing right now. Overall, what is the ambition of VR Box? So from offline channels, first in terms of hardware, we combine it with the 10 large VR globally connected products. Now, consumers don't need a very high-end hardware. And in the future, once we finish our collaboration with High Life Convenience Store, all you need to do is go to the store below, and then you can connect and play with and battle with people around against people from the world. And for online and offline users, even not through VR equipment or devices, you can just use your mobile to connect with your social group. And then we will also host official events, whether small scale, large scale, or international eSport events. And then combining with our global deployment, we want to emphasize third-party collaboration. Third-party developers using our own editor can develop their own content. And now, if we connect all these together around the world, then we can create our own VR metaverse. This is our current blueprint. As you can imagine, compare it with what the other companies are introducing, we are taking a very careful step using a lot of experimentation. So what does the metaverse mean to our developers? And we, for those who need to, those for-profit developers, how can they inspire our own development and our own future? So with that, we are VR Live. Thank you very much for listening.
Thank you very much, Jason, for the presentation. We heard wonderful applications. I'm sure you're all very excited about the future of Metaverse. And next, we would like to hear from the investors. So we have Mr. Tong Si Wan from KBGP. He's a CTO and who is actually a early stage VC for 5Gs for the AI latest technology. Their company has a wealth of experience in funding and financing companies at the early stage, and they also have very broad international experience and vision. And today, we have Mr. Tum to share with us the opportunities and also the visions for Taiwanese startups in Metaverse through the eyes of a VC. Okay, I hope you could see my screen. Okay, so yeah, I'm going to keep it this size, probably not full screen. So today I would like to talk about the perspective of VC and what are the opportunities for the Taiwanese startups in Metaverse. Just now, Roy and Justine has explained much of the history of Metaverse. So I think I'll just give you a very quick overview for a Metaverse. The term was actually coined in a sci-fi novel called Snow Crash. I guess many of you probably don't know this book. But actually, Ready Player One made this very famous. So people got the idea of Metaverse after they watched this movie. And actually, this idea started very long ago from games such as MNO and Open Worlds. And it was also very much brought up by famous pioneers like Linden Lab. And more current ones are Roblox and Minecraft. A while ago, we also see that the idea of Metaverse was gaining popularity, but it sort of faded away. But now it is also a very strong opportunity because with the craze sparked by VR and AR, and also it was very much discussed on social media with UGC platforms. So people became interested in Metaverse again. And now we're all living in a virtual world now, so the acceptance by the mass has increased. And technology have also caught up. VR, AR, edge computing, and graphic powers have actually grown so that it has been made possible. So who are looking at the Metaverse? It's social media, UGC. So these are the social and entertainment platforms. But in terms of the industrial applications, there are also quite some numbers. So there's a buzzword called digital twins and also IoT. In terms of the education, there is also training and simulation applications of Metaverse. So what are opportunities does Metaverse hold? So from my perspective, I think, first of all, it's a platform, and then content makers, and then the VR, AR technologies. These are the enabling technology, and also there are enabling infrastructure. And for the startups in Taiwan, what it is actually the better way to gain a foothold. I think platform and content is probably not that suitable for Taiwanese startups. For me, I think the focus will be on enabling technology and enabling infrastructure. Why is that? Why wouldn't say a Metaverse platform will be a good way to jumpstart? Because actually, it requires a large domestic market and also a lot of resource and financial resource and also talents. Very diverse talents will be needed. So I think for Taiwan, it's probably not the strong suit for Taiwan. And next, content. Why don't I think it's suitable for Taiwan? Because there is the cultural restriction. Because, well, first of all, you need to have a large domestic market to support that content development. And you also need a huge ecosystem. So I think so far, Taiwan just can't meet these requirements. But I think the technology or the tools, in this regard, I think Taiwan does stand a very good advantage. I say there's a gold rush effect. When we speak of gold rush, we see that a lot of companies are trying to get into this market and get a share of it as if it was a gold rush. So who would actually stand out from this competition? It's usually the tool or the technology providers. So they could actually enable people to achieve their goals and by providing the tools and technology. And so these technology can actually easily go cross-border and to reach scale. So they can easily work with international companies. I think that would be the competitive advantage of Taiwan. And so I think for Taiwan, I see these are the advantages for Taiwan. Taiwan has a very good ecosystem of technology and also has a very strong technological base. So I think we really need to come back to the roots of what makes Taiwan a success, or what makes Taiwan stand out in this global competition. But what is lacking is that I think there has to be a good venture capital support, the financial resources, and the international accelerator, and also for early stage development, early stage financing needs. These are very important. That will help the companies to really to venture outside of Taiwan. So what VCs are looking for is, so these are basically the four features. So first of all, uniqueness, whether there is a competitive barrier. And then there's a scalability. So it'd be great that they can be competitive in different territories. And then So, and then it comes back to competitive barrier. If the technology is good enough that will set yourself apart from other companies, that forms a barrier for new entrants. And then because we invest early stage, so the team, of course, is very important. So if you meet all the 3 criteria, but you don't have a good team, it means risk for the VC. What are the enabler technologies for me? I think it's a tool. No code or low code. So that the developer can actually work faster. And then hardware technology, software technology, content creation technology, cybersecurity, blockchain. So I think that's more for the investment platform. And then infrastructure technology. I can give you some examples, local or no-code development tools for eye tracking. I think there's a company called Guide Jeans, and they do eye tracking and facial tracking and a haptic feedback. So that's also a very good technology. And then interactive technology, 3D capturing, avatar creation. So I think these are all, we've seen very good technologies coming out of Taiwan. So just a quick conclusion. I think there's a lot of opportunities for a Taiwanese startup to go into Metaverse. So we would like to see them leverage on their advantage, and to go cross-border is the key. That's how they can scale up. Yeah, that actually refers back to what I mentioned about scalability. So I think that is all for my presentation. So if any questions, I think we can have a discussion at the fireside chat. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Chung. Now, our last speaker is from Malaysia, President of XR Associates, Having Liu. XR Associates is a pioneer of XR industry in Malaysia. Now, in its 8th year, the association has 40 members, companies, and growing, and partners from Indonesia, China, Australia, New Zealand, Singapore, Korea, Taiwan, and the US. They offer matchmaking to help businesses find the most suitable and comprehensive solutions in hardware, software, integrating verticals in medicine, Industry 4.0, first-line response, security, entertainment, marketing, travel, and automation. All these verticals are services that they offer. And let's hear from Having opportunities and possibilities in Metaverse for XR companies. Please welcome him. Harvey, you are muted. Hello, everyone. I'm Harvey from Malaysia. Our headquarters is in Malaysia, and I am delighted to be invited by the organizers to talk to you about us. Now I will share my screen. Can you see it? Yes. Okay, today I would like to talk to you about the opportunities and possibilities for XR companies in the Metaverse. First of all, I would like to talk about it in 3 angles. Last week, XRA community, we have discussed about this, and I will share about them on behalf of everyone. First of all, to us, Metaverse is a internet world that transverses virtual and real. And what are the benefits and opportunities? First of all, it goes across platforms and content as well as users. For cross-platform, the metaverse is related in the virtual world in the same way that the web page is related with the internet. So, like cross-platform web pages, they are not. The metaverse is not limited to AR, VR platform. It includes traditional 2D platforms and 3D platforms, and also a new platform extended from the metaverse. For example, you can now display. You have equipment that can display real objects in the metaverse in a digital way. Likewise, lots of people think that metaverse looks just like a game. We don't play games. So it feels like you're just asking us to play games, no? So the UI, UX in metaverse is very close to games. This is because science fictions describe metaverse in such a way that lots of people imagine it in the same way. And also CGI visualize metaverse. So we see what's described in the science fiction as very real in films. But in this UI, UX, similar to games, versus it's combined with users, and then in the very early days it was validated using games. So even if you design it in a very pretty way, users might not like it, but in games we have seen them used a lot, experimented in AR, VR, so this has accelerated the iteration. That is why the UI, UX of Metaverse looks so similar to games. Evidently, platform-centered companies are very indispensable, and I'm very much looking forward to experience that don't require wearables such as hologram, although we are still quite far from it. Now let's look at the cross-content nature of Metaverse. It's not a closed world, and it's not a 3D game either. Rather, it is a very open and the resources can be shared by all developers and users. So imagine you were in a gunfight last second, then you go into a sports car, and then you go to a Qing Dynasty, then you attend a football game, concert, and then do some e-shopping. So you are just, and then in your real life, your dog, your pet is enjoying the dog food that you just bought. So no one single company can complete all these tasks. In addition to entertainment, education, and daily content, work in various industries will also be like Google or WhatsApp, and they will be operating on the metaverse. But it's not limited to document processing. Science and industrial R&D can be expanded using AI to share their outcomes in the metaverse, such as spaceship, manufacturing, the training of astronauts, the landing of spaceship, and even colonizing other planets. All this can be limitlessly validated and enhanced in the metaverse. So other than games and entertainment, this is what can be used. For XR companies, whether they develop on their own or they provide customized service, the demand is going to be larger than most traditional platforms. This is not technical, but rather because the metaverse spans across contents. You need to have very consistent experience rather than having different experience across different content. So this is very different from the closed environment of the past. So we must rely on XR talents and companies. In terms of spanning across users, the relationship between Metaverse and the social platform can be described with a metaphor, like Facebook and social pages. They bring in existing users from the platform, so the metaverse will be similar. So in these large social platforms are battling for users, and in the metaverse, it's no exception. So we need to choose which social group or which platform has the most users, and then we develop our content accordingly. But don't forget, Facebook tracking or following is like a open platform like Google. So they focus on collecting wider user information rather than just platform. So in the future, the user account, the avatar, is going to be an ID. We are not strangers to these digital accounts. So you can register an account, and as long as there's a protocol, you can go across different services. And different service providers have different content. They ask you to fill in different information. Sometimes it seems unnecessary. However, with the Metaverse user account, you will have your avatar in the digital world, and you may also have biometrics for validation. So because we're already using fingerprints, things like this for identity, and indeed there are a lot of NFT companies who have developed avatar information-oriented products for the metaverse. Because it expands across contents, the user account also depends on the content. So there's lots of room to develop for different companies. The world has suffered great impact from COVID, so that has also accelerated the internet projects. For a lot of people using the internet, things like QR code or live streaming. All this was not necessary before COVID. In Malaysia, we were forced to use it since the breakout. I don't remember how many hours I spent on convincing educational institutions to teach via the internet pre-COVID, but now every day they go online to teach themselves. All of a sudden, it changes overnight. And seniors don't really use social groups that much, but now they are forced to use it to shop online and also get deliveries. This huge group of users didn't used to be active on the social groups, but all businesses are paying attention to this. Other than traditional gamers and users, now there's a growing group of people who are embracing the internet world. It's not just about entertainment, but rather it's going to be an important tool for their everyday life. In summary, it goes across platform, user, and content, although that doesn't describe every opportunity Metaverse has for companies. However, you can extend from that our society is going to have exponential growth. Land and mines and resources are limited. However, manufacturing and educational training and troubleshooting, all these require a lot of resources. With limited real resources expanded in an infinite way by the metaverse, if you can transfer just a part of a real life and then test it and operate it in the metaverse, then we can better and more effectively use our resources, overcome racism, and land exploitation and other things like that. That is something that you can think about. For more discussion, join XRA and become one of our member or partner. Thank you.
Thank you, Harvin's presentation, and that is the presentation from our 6 speakers, which is truly enlightening and gives us a very clear picture of the metaverse. And then we're going to move on to the fireside chat. I'm sure that you're all very excited about Metaverse, and you are welcome to leave your comments or questions on Facebook or YouTube, and we'll ask our panelists to answer those questions. And today we have the chairperson of the Taiwan Simulation and Augmented Reality Industry Association, and also the chairperson of the VR company. Would like to welcome the chairman, Andy Peng, and who is specialized in industry analysis, and he actually has decades of experience in the industry analysis. And now I would like to give the floor to Mr. Andy Peng. Good afternoon, everyone. I am Andy Peng, and it's my privilege to host this fireside chat. So I think being the moderator, I would like to maybe share a little bit about my background. And actually, in 2017, I founded a company called Surreal, which is dedicated to the VR and AR/VR education. We're probably the first company that certified in Metaverse. Our product, beta product, is actually launched about 2 weeks ago. A lot of companies, they provide very valuable trainings, and if they can be simulated in the VR, in the simulated world, you can actually have access to these workshops or these. If you wish to access this content, you can actually purchase them from Surreal, and this is the images from these training courses. And for example, while human resource training is very important, but in post-pandemic era, I guess we are not back in doing these trainings person to person, face to face right away. So an alternative would be doing this in the virtual setting. So this is a service that we can provide to global users. And now I would like to move on to the fireside chat now, because we have already heard from the 6 presenters. I'm sure many of our audience members may have questions, and you might have things you'd like to share. So we would, this component would actually would be composed of a sharing and also Q&A. And we'll try to get the panelists to answer your questions. So we can, Metaverse is a very interesting concept. My son was about to be a grade 3 student, and my son, actually last night we were playing Minecraft together. Yeah, I am also a heavy user. I'm also a VR user. I actually spend a lot of my time in the virtual world. Originally, I promised my wife we would only play for 30 minutes. But of course, as soon as you started, you get so immersed in an hour gone by. A lot of times you forget about time. So if you find something that you do is valuable, and you tend to not keep track of time. So I think that's a beautiful thing about Metaverse. And yeah, when we talk about metaverse, of course, we think of a value for all these goods, the flow of goods, and also the different services that they need to meet the demand of the users. I think for now, the first question is, what are the key factors that would need to be in place? Do we want to create a metaverse that's very close to reality, or can we think outside of the box, and do we want to create a world that's completely different from our reality? And so what kind of opportunities would that bring for the industries? So can we have Joe from NVIDIA to maybe answer that first question? Thank you, Andy. I think in Metaverse, it's not just a digital twin. We're not just trying to simulate the real world. It could also be surreal, and also the virtual avatar, like we talked about. So I think there's a few important factors. For example, that needs to be a shared environment that cross geographic borders, and also with AI, NFT, 5G, 6G, 7G, broadband network, and also the crypto currencies blockchain, and also the XR devices to fully materialize the potential of Metaverse. So NVIDIA Omniverse will bring revolutions to the platform. Hey, actually, I mentioned quite a bit, and I think I mentioned all these the progress of these core elements, and also how they help to build the metaverse. So we look forward to more tools from Omniverse, from NVIDIA, not just Omniverse. I'm sure that you have a pipeline ready. And a question for Justine. You mentioned asset transaction. Actually, NFT, based on my understanding, it will be a very critical concept. Now, I think a lot of banks and also the researchers, I think they maybe have doubts for NFT. But okay, question is, when we are creating the virtual world, how do we define the values? So you're saying that NFT transactions are often millions or tens of millions. So exactly how do you define the value? Because we are, because fiat is still the currency that we rely on, the currencies that we rely on. So do you think there could be a conflict between the financial systems in the real world and the virtual world? Okay, the recognition of value, I think that's quite subjective. And yesterday I was talking to one of our vendors. He said that before he came to know about blockchain, and he asked his friend, a friend who actually made a lot of money from crypto, and he asked his friend, when are you going to convert that into the actual the general currency? But the friend says that, why do I have to do that? Because I'm actually using it in all scenarios. Why do I have to convert it to fiat? And for those who are not trading crypto, they probably think that Bitcoin and Ethereum, they are worthless. However, like I said, it's very subjective because for some people, Bitcoin may be worth nothing. However, in the world of blockchain, people understand the value of it. It can actually be used in pretty much all scenarios. Say, for example, a Bitcoin could be worth, let's say $10,000. And whether you want to, try to find the equivalent value of fiat. But actually, for a lot of people, it is valuable, and you can actually use it to do transaction. So why do people use gold for the foundation of currency? Because it's unique and so rare. And some people also use diamond or platinum or palladium as the basis of currency. And so, yeah, if we say Justine, she's unique and she is rare, so she can also be used as a basis for currency. So basically, it has to be unique, and also you can use it to assess the value. So before we use gold as the basis for value, because a group of people they believe in gold, and they see the uniqueness in gold. So crypto is the same. Crypto is also limited. The quantity is limited. So I think, but I'm sure there will be conflicts in the future because people used to do barter trade with rocks. I'm sure, a lot of people don't use cash anymore, especially during COVID. Actually, during the lockdown for the past 2 months, and when I go out to buy stuff, I don't normally carry cash with me. Usually, I wouldn't carry more than 1,000 NT in my wallet. When I go buy, just to buy a snack and say maybe some dumplings, I found that, I'm actually out of cash. I only use a credit card. So I think there is a shift of paradigm or belief. So I'm sure that when we talk to CTO, Mr. Toom, I'm sure he has more examples to share with us. Because when you're making investments, you're investing into the future, not the present. So yeah, we see that we are now embarking on this trend. I think for XR, from 16 to 17, we say this is the first year of VR, and we see that also VR and AR, and there's a lot of a shipment that year for related to the goods. For exponential growth, Metaverse actually brought another issue, which is actually going to revolutionize the landscape. So I have this question for Mr. Toom. So from 17 to 2000, we see that the industry is not under the spotlight. But now, with the concept of Metaverse, so from the perspective of investment, you talked about all these different applications, but are there other opportunities? For example, you talked about the industries in Taiwan. What are the possibilities for the Taiwanese companies?
Actually, Metaverse is an extension of AR/VR. You could say that in the past, the focus was more on the progress in AR/VR. However, hardware alone, it's very hard to have a lot of impact, so it became less hot. But with the Metaverse, we hope that it will become like a killer app, and allowing AR/VR or the surrounding industry to come back alive again. I think in the future, we cannot veer far from the virtual world and AR/VR. However, that brings back to what I was talking about. I still believe that in Taiwan, in terms of the main focus, it should still be on technology, enabling technology to support the industry and its development. There are people starting out on that. For example, one exhibitor has eye tracking technology, and also some basic motion tracking. Actually, these are excellent opportunities for Taiwan, all this technology, and also 3D display is also another emerging area. They are excellent in these aspects, but all they lack is some visibility. So I think that's a pity. Yes, actually, startups in Taiwan, our own Tarva Association also has a lot of startup members. I think startups still have their opportunities. However, you need to start from day one. After all, we are an island, so from day one, you need to think about how to go beyond the island. We don't have a large market. At tops, you can have POC, but from day one, the market you have, the technology, and your scale should be aimed at international level, and then you have opportunities. I need to be honest, there are not so many visionary companies in Taiwan. However, we really look forward to more and more capable people, talents joining the Metaverse. Other than what CTO Mr. Chung mentioned, in Taiwan, we are stronger in firmware and hardware. However, maybe in the future, we can have platform or large virtual or AI companies. I believe with Taiwan software talents and also software talents combined together, one day we really have a chance to have a unicorn in the AR XR world. Next question is for Harvard. As NVIDIA said, the Omniverse and also Facebook also comes up with a Metaverse company for Facebook in 5 years. Based on your understanding of the Asian market and the APAC market, if in Asia or East Asia people want to go into the Metaverse, what are some of the footholds they can zero in on, or what are their strengths? Actually, we have started talking about this question a long time ago, not just Metaverse, but also AR, VR. What role is Southeast Asia playing? A few years ago for AR, VR, a lot of people are rushing into hardware, and a lot of them have disappeared. We know it emerges fast and disappears fast. And content is the same. So a lot of people rush into content making. And they are inspired by some companies, maybe because they are really strong in promotion. They use a lot of CGIs and, really cool and really eye-catching videos. But after you try it, it's not really what they make it out to be. So it also happened here in Asia. Companies, they say, oh, we want to do what the American or European companies are doing. Maybe the content is really good, but people cannot see it, and users are unwilling to spend money to experience it. So that comes back to the question. Of course, we want a market. If we look at the domestic markets, one of our members said they are also doing some Metaverse trials. An Indonesia member, as you know, Indonesia and Asia, China, Southeast Asia, we have lots of people. However, how many people have the income to afford it? So that not too many. So that is why AR, VR is very hard to access for people in our area. So, and people need to buy it from elsewhere, like HoloLens. So all these become barriers. And that means for developers, when they are doing Metaverse experimentation, they choose web pages with streaming. So they don't rely on hardware, and that ends up having the following effect. Metaverse doesn't have to be used on AR, VR platform. They can be used on 2D platform. It's best if you could just use a simple browser without downloading anything. A large country like Indonesia, there are not too many people with good electronics. So if they want to leverage their population dividend, they need to explore different angles. And another feature is in Southeast Asia and Asia, Facebook and YouTube has the highest adhesion rate. Asians, as soon as they wake up, they check out Facebook and they check it out in the washroom on the throne. So this is a daily life for them. So for the avatars in the metaverse, it's really familiar for Asians, really. Yeah, so it's, what's really popular is the Japanese animes, you know. So we are really proud that Asian influence is expanding into the West. Actually, we grew up with these ideas, and one day we would love to become all these anime characters. Isn't that the original intent of the metaverse? I think that's two ways that we can look into. I couldn't agree more. It's very interesting. A lot of the Asian markets are not like the West market in terms of their behavior. It's leaning toward multiple and small transactions. So in the future, XR opportunities or metaverse opportunities, if you're looking at the scale of the market, personally, I think for the general public in their consumption, we need to think about tapping into the greater market rather than looking for the top of the pyramid and very large single transaction. I'm not saying what transactions Justine talked about is not good. Don't misunderstand me. But I think if you look at the scale for investors like Mr. Toon and institutions, the future scale of the market is an important consideration. Of course, in the end, the investors want to exit, so the more it's used, that means that the transactions are very active and cash flow is very good. So that investors and think about opportunities and application. You need to identify which market you want to go into, whether it is a user platform or content development. You need to look more on how you can reach more users rather than thinking about how to make my work very fancy. Sometimes fancy work risks losing more users. So we're going to invite later Roy from HTC. Actually, let's go in order. We talked about Asian market. We know that HTC is constantly launching something new, but you run into a lot of challenges in the Asian market, in the global market alike. I'm very honored that HTC's Focus 3, on day one, we actually place our order. Our company is doing a lot of trials with Focus 3. In terms of the parallel world of Metaverse, whether it is technology, hardware, equipment, wearables, HTC has a lot of experiments. And in the earliest stage, you had all these PC VR, wireless applications. So what more breakthroughs can we have other than visual and also motion capture? Would HTC come up with haptic, auditory, and different ideas? So do what you can. If there are trade secrets, it's okay. You don't have to share everything. Yes, no problem. Thank you, Andy. I was trained as an engineer, so from product or hardware angle, HMV headset has some key parts. So for example, display, latch, chip state, all these are key components. Of course, as time goes by, these key parts, whether in their size or functions, can see great progress. But of course, it takes time. You can see the same from the evolution of mobile phones. Of course, pricing is another issue. It takes time for it to become acceptable to the general consumer. And then, as you said, haptic or in terms of touch or smell, I have seen similar solutions. For smell and touch, but for the price or real application, it still takes time for them to roll out. I think Andy is going to ask, well, you need time for everything. Then what can we do? How can we continue to break through to enhance the experience and to make it more immersive? And as I said to you, In terms of the headset, I talk about the key components. But in terms of the internet, if we can combine it with 5G or even more advanced mobile network, and using high frequency, high bandwidth, we can upload everything onto the cloud, making the headset more compact and lighter. But at the same time, it has the same rendering effect as a PC. So I think that's one way we can continue to explore and how we can have breakthrough. And of course, like NVIDIA or Cloud XR, NVIDIA is doing a lot in this space. So in this industry, we take advantage of our strength and then try to integrate ourselves and to try to contribute to the industry. And I think the key, after all, comes back to content, because the content decides the experience and the immersiveness. Okay, so Roy talked about content. I think we have some delay in signal. Okay, no worries. Once Roy comes back online, we will let him finish off. But the last thing he mentioned was content, and I must say that, hello, can you hear me, Roy? Hello? Your signal is not very strong. Yes, I can hear you. Okay, go ahead. I was talking about the second key part is still goes back to content and immersiveness. And another example I want to give is Animal Crossing. It's this kind of idea. It's more 2D, and in terms of hardware, it's just a console, but the content is just about people interacting with each other or with the scenes. Maybe it's not so somatosensory, but it's very immersive. I also play a text MMORPG back when I was really young. But even in text mode, I was immersed in from morning to night. So I think the content is the most critical. Yes, in terms of content, it's very there are a lot of barriers still. Let's ask Jason. Out of the 6, you are one with a lot of successful as well as failing experiences. So content developing is quite difficult. I want to go away from my script. I want to ask you, how do you look at Metaverse? You have a lot of games, and how can you make it valuable for the users? I really want to hear from you. Come on, talk to us. For the real user, how can Metaverse be popular and be valuable from the point of view of a developer? Why has the question become so realistic as soon as it gets to me? To me, the most important thing is in the future, products are going to develop more around. Well, today the game developer create content for people to play, or they create products to be consumed. So this is more like developer to user. But in the next stage, back to your question, how can it be motivating for the user to use? I think the next stage is going to be like this. For developers like us, we don't create content. We don't create products. It's more like we provide an editor or creative tools for the consumers to create their own unique products and sell to other users. And developers like us, we can get from this transaction some profit. I think it's more likely moving toward that. So in the future, for developers, how can they create a very robust environment in which you can have a very strong transaction in trading and regulatory environment, or also a very good mechanism, and then to have tools so that user to user, creator to consumers, they can have very direct connection. I think in the future, in the metaverse, I think that's a core concept. It's no longer about what kind of game I'm making for you to play, or what product I'm making, or what kind of solutions I'm making for you to sell, or different potions for you to use. I think this is a new idea for developers and new direction. You need to rebuild this.
Developers need to become service provider. I think that's a very important concept. Jason mentioned this. That's very important. I think also pretty much summarized what the other has shared, because in the Metaverse, actually, imagination is a very important skill. That's actually your superpower, because in the future, if you want to be in Metaverse, if you are a service provider or a service creator, be it a platform technology or the different services, you are playing a role kind of like God. You are creating a lot of things in that universe. So next is also a question for Mr. Chung. We have a lot of challenges. Oftentimes we're looking 5 or 10 years ahead. For the VCs, they are very forward looking. So based on all the answers that we heard previously, what are the cutting-edge technology or forward-looking technology that we should probably start investing now? I think, for example, the technology of display. Taiwan, I think we have, this is a critical technology, and also a space, what's a location technology. I think okay, what are the forward-looking technologies? I think one, I think a peak will be maybe 3 to 4 years from now. I think, we're now just working our ways toward it. We're getting more prepared. So display technology, opticals, AI, and also there will be, lots of servers that will need to utilize computing, quantum computing. And also olfactory feedback. That is actually very important. So the how do you interact with the virtual world? I think that there's a lot of technology that can enhance that immersive experience. So there's still much that needs to be bridged. Okay, there's a lot that we can work on. And also, I think computing power, I'm sure NVIDIA would contribute to that. And also HTC would also have a lot of applications for that. I'm definitely looking forward to that day. I'm a true believer. So when it comes to partnerships and collaboration, we talked about gamification, decentralization, cross-platform technology, or display technology. There's actually a lot of opportunities. So there's a question, and for the so Jason mentioned all of the cross-platform concept. And so if you want to facilitate collaboration, what kind of synergy would you create? For example, NVIDIA with, say, the VC. So, I'm just trying to randomly pair any of you. So, Justine, well, maybe we can start from you because you didn't really speak much. Okay. Actually, Jason has sort of messaged me. He messaged because we're very close friends, and I've been in the gaming industry for a very long time. So Lutex at the beginning, we were more of a virtual treasure auction house, and now we move on toward other collections or artwork. I've also seen a lot of these virtual treasures. They also become more popular. So the NFT auction house is actually a very neutral space. And we can actually sell a lot of things that comes in the that base prices or asset value on NFT. So I've been thinking about what I can do with Jason because we're a very close friend. And for example, if you have NFT, you can perhaps buy Artai's artwork, and say, for example, you can use that maybe to exchange for a skin in the game, and you can play in that game. So that's actually one cross-platform application I can think of. Okay, Mr. Tomb has something to say. For the VCs, yeah, we would like to work with a lot of people, especially these the startups, and we like to maybe discover the new HTC or NVIDIA at a very early stage. So, yeah, we welcome any proposals from startups, and we would like to create more values with them. Okay, just now we talked about virtual transaction, and they will needs to be recorded in blockchain. Do you think, Mr. Ye Bingchen, you have a presentation skill class? You can actually maybe sell your classes here at the NFT auction house. I'm sure it will also be very, very popular there. Okay, there are questions that we're getting from our platforms. Do you have? Okay, I will have a look at what questions that we got here. Who do you think will dominate Metaverse? Could it be Microsoft or Facebook or NVIDIA or perhaps HTC? Well, I added HTC and NVIDIA myself. Okay, any thoughts, NVIDIA? Any thoughts from you? I think in Metaverse, I think each individual or company, we can play a role. Like Andy and Jason mentioned, a lot of the developers, they will become service provider, and the software providers, they will become a platform provider. So it's not just limited to companies. Actually, for each user, we're playing a role, and we do not see them as competitors. I think Metaverse requires the collaboration of each of the users and to grow it. So our platform Omniverse, we are competing with the other 2D or 3D service providers. We're trying to create an ecosystem, a platform for design to build Metaverse. I think that's a very good answer. And we also got this big question. And also there was somewhat mentioned in our, from the panelists. So the penetration rate of the device, of the hardware device, is critical, and that would definitely impact the popularity of Metaverse. So how do we solve that? So I know we can access from a web browser, but maybe what are the other solutions? Can Roy answer that? That's also a very good question. I think the case of the browser is probably the fast way to popularize it, and there are different tools and different technologies. But how do you gain popularity to make it more prevalent? So it could be, you probably want to be able to use it on iPad and also desktop or laptop. And so I think when we try to encourage the adoption, how do we reach more users? Because when you have more users, then you can create more possibilities. So it doesn't have to be VR because that requires a lot of hardware. I think in Metaverse you can actually link more people, create more content. That is, so you don't necessarily need to rely on the hardware device. And also, just now, Joe mentioned, we want to bring more people into the Metaverse and to create more content. That's actually a very important thing, especially now with COVID. Now we have a lot of influencers. People are running their own Instagram or YouTube account. So who is going to be the next, say, mega player in Metaverse? Actually, if you are if you know about blockchain or Bitcoin, you know that a very important investor mentioned that it's not about who's going to be Facebook. It's about each of us making contribution. We creating our own circles in Metaverse. Yeah, okay. We often say that we need to watch what young people are doing because that's a very good indicator of the future. I'm sure if you have kids, you probably understand that very well because we are the generation that shape the future. So now a lot of kids, they're actually playing with Roblox or Minecraft. So I'm sure Metaverse has a very promising future, and we would like to take a photo together, so please stay online. So, please smile to the camera. We'd like to thank XR Express and our partners, and also our sponsor, that is the National Development Council. Thank you, Andy, and thank you, our speakers, for that very rich content and your insight. And I'd also like to thank you for staying with us throughout the session. I'm sure that you have gained a much better understanding of Metaverse, and there's also a lot of potentials and possibilities. And please please like and follow the XR Express Taiwan's Facebook fan page. Last but not least, you can actually proceed to the virtual show and also official website of XR Express Taiwan. Thank you very much for joining us today. We'll see you next time.